Hello and welcome to Tipsy VP episode 10th January 2020, a weekly show where we share tips and tricks on how to improve your social media. Tipsy VP is brought to you by Virtual Peddlers Marketing, the digital marketing agency that helps small businesses go digital. My name is Sean.
And I'm JK.
This week's weekly Tipsy: promote events on Instagram stories with these 3 tricks. A lot goes into running events, especially the logistics and operations of it. While we are so bogged down by the physical experience of everybody who's attending the events, right? We tend to forget the importance of documenting the events. If your company runs a lot of events, documenting them is crucial to the success of your next one, because it is far easier to sell a future event based on a successful past than it is to sell an imaginative one. So I want to talk about the stress of this thing here. Let's say if we were to run a lot of events, we cannot just keep creating, if we were to see an ad, right? And this ad is a nicely created, or you get a very good narrative of what the event is, what you will see, who's going to be there. And the graphics is amazing, the video is amazing, animation, everything is amazing, compared to one with clips from the past event.
Okay, got it.
Which one will sell to you more?
I would say the real history, real story, and the real feedback from the clients, and those live one instead of those like they really stand and the pictures of the behind background is blur, and then it's like this who's this person's name? This formal. The less formal it is, the more I will believe.
Yes, and I also believe that the more of actual events you use, the more people will believe as well.
Correct. Yeah.
Because there is a precedent, right? You already created it before and it was a success, and this is what happened.
Correct. Yeah.
Not what you say will happen, what actually happened.
Correct. Yes.
So for this basis, it is actually important to document your past event so that you can more easily sell the future one. If you're deciding on which social media platform to use to market your events, may we suggest Instagram,
Yep.
especially stories. Here are our top 3 tricks to promoting your live events on Instagram stories. You want to take the first one?
All right, sure. The first one, create graphics before the event. The main reason we need to create graphics before an event and not after is that it forces us to come up with a storyboard. And a storyboard lets us know what we need to document during the event. The alternative is to shoot everything and figure things out later on, which will result in many missed opportunities. You can break them up into different days if it's a multi-day event. Or you can segment them into themes and titles. After that event is done, the content can also be saved into separate highlights. That way, your audience won't have to go through endless dots of clips just to get to the topic they are interested in. Kind of like the old school DVDs where we can skip chapters. While you're creating graphics for the future, make some as throwbacks for the weeks or months after as well. That way, your mind will still be fresh and the content you create will carry the same style. So kind of like remarketing lah.
Yeah. So the key here is this, right? A lot of us, what we do is we start to create the graphics and plan the whole thing after the event is done. But what we are saying now is we need to plan it before the event even happens. Because that way, right, our storyboard comes out. We know what we need to shoot, when we need to shoot, how we need to shoot it. Then from there, we know where we need to have all the cameras and who we need to talk to, how many
when
of these
to stand
videos
by,
when to stand by, how many of videos that we need, all these kind of things. And your question might be now, so what kind of event do we need? What kind of footage do we need for the event? We will come to number 2, which is capture 5 types of footage from your event. The first one is footage that prompts engagement. Incorporate content that can be used as an engagement advertisement for your future event. They can either be a singular content or multiple ones targeting different audiences. For example, some content that explain a digital marketing trip in the event can be covered by the sticker in the story. Let's say, for example, there's a part where we talk about something, right? But in stories, we just slap a sticker onto it so they can't see the content of it.
Yeah.
And then that sticker is actually the one where you ask people what is the answer of this thing. And it gets people talking. Right? It can also ask the audience if they experience similar problems as described in the event.
Correct. Yep.
Like, let's say we just talk about, we have experienced this before. Then the question would be like, have you experienced it before as well? Then these contents can be used as advertisement pieces to promote the next similar event in the future. So we talked about, I think a while back we talked about how to form what is it called, social media captions. When
Correct.
you ask the question, do you have this problem? Then if they say yes, then we have the answer for you.
Yep,
so
correct.
the answer will be attend this event because you can find out more. So once we structure it that way, the engagement will be higher. But we need to first know that we need footage that will prompt engagement
Correct, yeah.
before the
Similar
engagement happens.
footage, like the things they can relate to.
Yes, that people can relate to, that other brands will relate to. For example, in digital marketing, there are certain tips and tricks that people struggle with, like funneling and flywheeling, right? So if we did talk about it in the past event before, we can raise a little bit up, and then we say, you want to know more, you come to our next event.
Correct, yeah.
The next one is main attraction. Give the audience a look and feel of the event, especially its main feature. Perhaps you have a keynote speaker or a special guest that you want to, like for example, I think a lot of events have keynote speakers or special guests. You can feature them so that it kind of be like, it's not just us saying that we can get this person in, we actually got that person in, right?
Correct.
So that is a good selling point.
It's a credential.
It's a credential. Another main attraction could also be lucky draw. For example, if you want your event, or your event is famous for having really, really expensive gifts for lucky draw, like
PlayStation
60-screen
4
TVs or PlayStation 5. No one wants
Wow,
PlayStation 4 anymore.
Okay.
PlayStation 5, Nintendo Switch, all these kind of things. If these are the kind of lucky draw gifts you usually give, and your guests know that it is a main attraction, do that. You put that as part of your footage and prepare and shoot this footage.
Correct.
The next one is behind the scenes footage. Of course, this is the most important type of footage. Part of what made Victoria's Secret runway show a success is in its ability to beautifully capture the fun that happens behind the scenes.
Yep, agree.
There was one part that actually makes it actually gives the model the way the models interact with each other in a very fun way. Gives us the impression that they're genuinely enjoying their work.
Yep,
and because of that, it makes us feel happier watching them doing what they do.
Also, like all those series, like all those RuPaul on the behind the scenes.
Yes,
Like,
yeah.
what do you feel about that that situation where you had a conflict with the other person and then they just rat it out?
Yeah.
People just want to see that kind of drama.
So it's this kind of stuff that really works as well.
Yep, correct.
Behind the scenes footage. It can be a bit raw. It can be a bit what is this called? Unfiltered, explicit and unfiltered. But it's okay because
it's true.
That's why reality TVs are famous.
Yeah.
Because of all these kind of uncut scenes, and of course, you can always bleep them out, or you can cut them out if you want. But at the end of the day, depending on your crowd, you know what you need to do, and how far you can go. The next one is reaction footage. Nothing gives your audience more confidence than real testimonials from your past audience. And candid footage hit the sweet spot right here. Good example would be cameras focusing on your audience during an epic reveal, documenting their reaction. For example, if let's say, if the grand prize winner of that lucky draw, right? Instead of focusing on the stage, you focus on all the
crowd,
crowd, and you give this drum roll moment where everybody's looking at their ticket and see whether it's theirs.
Correct, yeah.
And then you call the number and the person gets it, and it's kind of like a very Golden Globe Academy Awards kind of style.
I remember that scene one is like they created like the footage, like the achievement time. Then they will bring that screen into this corner here, and then the crowd is the main screen. And then over there, so that the timing is paired together at the same time.
Yeah.
So yeah, those kind of reaction footage.
These are very good footage. And they don't have to be really, really exceptionally high quality, as long as you have one person with a camera or a phone that is directed at the crowd during this time, and you capture it, and then you can use it for your footage.
Yep.
Another one would be a site effort where certain audience were invited to the site to actually be asked a few questions. Let's say there are a few people, let's say if you run events for multinational companies, then you can have, let's say, one representative from a big company come over and be asked a few questions. Or what do you think about this event? Everything like that. And they can answer their questions and then be done with it. It can be a short 30-second, 1-minute thing. Just two, 3 questions would do. But it helps create a testimonial and reaction footage.
Agree.
Also, to create more flexibility with footage here, it is advisable to shoot them outside of Instagram. I actually would advise all content to be shot outside of Instagram. You can actually shoot using vertical video format, but I would advise if everybody like shoot it on your phone camera instead of within Instagram, because the limitations of Instagram app is too minimal.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
And if you shoot a long video from your camera, and what happens is
It's all the dots.
but if it's from your phone camera, it is not a dot. It just becomes one long video. Then you can export it onto, let's say, Premiere Pro. Then you can cut it and use it later on.
Yep, correct.
The final one, the fifth one, is reposting tagged stories. Nothing screams the awesomeness of your event like stories made by your audience. It is raw, more honest, and very much more believable than your own. Painful, but yes, it's true.
Yeah.
No matter how much effort you spend on your content,
The
your audience content will be more believable than yours.
It always highlights better.
Yeah. One way to streamline stories from your audience is to encourage the use of a singular hashtag or account tag. That way you can easily find them and share those you like. Let's say if there are 800 people in the event and they use hashtag ABC, and then what they do is every single one of them use hashtag ABC. All you need to do is just to look for hashtag ABC and you reshare all
Just
their
find
stories. Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes it easier compared to it being like scattered everywhere.
Correct. I have one friend actually. She's actually raising fund for Team Malaysia to create. So what she does is she sells dried strawberries.
Yeah.
So what she do is every time when she sells the strawberries, right, and then the customers tag back her, say, "Oh my god, how awesome is this?"
Yeah.
All she do is just repost it.
Just repost. Just keep reposting.
Yeah.
Yes.
So and I actually do believe that people felt it much more better because it's a customer's actual feedback and
exactly.
it's not a talk kind of
Yes.
thing.
It's not fake. It's not staged. It's real.
Correct.
It's really it's real reactions, and these are the things that matter more.
Yeah, correct. So yeah, that's how social media works now.
Yep. So in order to gamify this thing, right, you can also encourage the sharing of stories by giving a prize for the best story of the event.
Yep.
That way, it kind of encourages people to create better stories on your behalf. For example, if your best story is a PlayStation 5, let's say 1,700 ringgit, right? You give that for the cost of 1,700 ringgit, you get so much epic stories that you don't have to hire someone to do it for you.
Yeah, correct.
I think it's bloody good value if you think about
Think
it.
about it, it's like 1,700 worth of marketing
Exactly.
cost.
Exactly.
Real marketing
And
cost.
you don't have to plan it. You just let it
Go
do it for you.
naturally.
Exactly. All you have to do is just curate the thing.
Alright, now third one, turn it into an ad. At the end of the day, most of the content is used to attract the next batch of attendees. You can copy the link to your highlights and share them in your email marketing efforts. You can also create a video advertisement using all the footage you have. When creating an ads for stories, it is advisable to use original vertical shot footage alongside with internal editing tools. This allows the content to blend into other native content and increase viewership. You can also use Facebook Ads Manager to create e-custom audience to target a smaller audience. They can be those who've engaged with you for the past content or those who like your page. They can also be friends of your follower as well.
So the key here is that even if you are creating an advertisement or you're converting your content into advertisement, it is advisable to post the ad on a vertical format and use internal editing tools, which means that you use the caption, those captioning tools from within Instagram, and also use the stickers and memes from within Instagram.
Correct, yes.
Don't try to get from outside. Don't try to. I mean,
you want to optimize it better.
Yeah, the reason for this is not to stand out. The reason for this is to blend in with your organic content, because users consume organic content more, and most users do not go out of Instagram to look for a caption tool. They just use the caption tool that's provided by
post and
Instagram.
go inside.
Yeah. So if you were to do the same thing, it becomes a lot more native, and because it's more native, then it becomes more the chances of people engaging with it is a lot higher as well.
Correct. Yep.
All right, so let's recap this week's Tipsy VP. Promote events on Instagram stories with these three tricks. Wow.
Tongue twister moments.
Number one, create graphics before the event so that you have a storyboard up so you know what to shoot. Number two, capture 5 types of footage from your event. First one being footage that will prompt engagement. Second is your main attraction. Third is behind the scenes footage. Fourth is reaction footage from the people. And the fifth is reposting tagged stories by your audience. And the third one is turn it into an advertisement. Most importantly, make sure they carry the same original vertical shot footage and using internal editing tools instead of external apps.
That is correcto.
Okay, so that's all for this week. This Tipsy Weekly podcast is a part of Social Media Weekly and it's available on Anchor FM, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and more. Our full videos are available on YouTube and we post bits and clips on Instagram and Facebook. This is Tipsy VP episode 10 January 2020. My name is Sean.
And I'm JK.
Au revoir.
Sayonara.